The forecast said that this was going to be a sunrise that you did not want to miss. So I came out to downtown Chicago. I'm on the shoreline of Lake Michigan, and I decided that I was going to see if I could get anything from this amazing sunrise. And right now we've got a little bit of color, but the thing to remember is a great sunrise doesn't automatically guarantee great photos. You still have to read the light and let it guide you toward a subject. Let's get into this. We're starting to get a little bit of color in the sky. It's nothing incredible, but it's there. It's enough to make me take a couple shots, but the thing I'm really waiting for right now is the directional light from the sun once it crests the horizon. Because in situations like this where you come out for sunrise and it's supposed to be awe-inspiring, epic, beautiful, whatever, and then the color's in the wrong direction, or there's just no clouds in the direction that you're shooting to catch the color, the next best thing to do is to wait for that directional light when the sun actually comes up. You can still do some really cool stuff with that. My hope for this morning is that once the sun comes up over the horizon, it's going to throw that light across the faces of these buildings and give it a little bit extra pop to make up for the lack of color in the sky. We'll see. Currently set up, just waiting. Once you commit to a scene, you find your composition, just don't deviate, wait for the light. A couple things that I want to mention here while I wait for the sun to crest the horizon, specifically with how I'm shooting a sunrise scene. When you're working at sunrise or sunset, it's typically going to be pretty high dynamic range. You're going to have really, really dark tones and really, really bright tones. In landscape photography, you want to try to protect your highlights. You don't want those to clip, because that's where a lot of your color, all of your detail in the sky, it's going to live in those highlights. So when I'm shooting sunrise and sunset, I'm typically shooting a bracket, and I'm shooting that bracket from highlight priority mode on the camera, because doing that is going to protect those highlights, but the bracket is going to grab that shadow detail so that I can go ahead and exposure blend later, and I have that data just in case. Call it an insurance policy in the field, because the last thing you want to do is get back, realize you clipped all the color in the sky, or your shadows are so dark that when you try to lift them, they become noisy and grainy and just don't look right. So, little insurance policy, good habit to get into. Now, if you're shooting like interior waterfalls or, something that doesn't include the sky, 99% of the time matrix metering is going to be fine, but in this case, we're shooting highlight priority mode and using a bracket to protect the highlights. Well, the sun is officially up, it crested the horizon. There was a nice little window of warm glow on the face of the buildings. It kind of went behind some clouds now, but what I was doing there was I was waiting for that decisive moment when the sun first crests the horizon and you get that real deep, rich, orange, red glow across the landscape. That's always incredible if the horizon's clear enough to let it happen. In this case, the clouds really just kind of moved out. There really wasn't anything extremely exciting going on with the sky, but that warm glow can make up for it. Let's take this back, look at it on the computer, see what we can make out of this. These are the two photos that I ended up liking the most here on the left. The final is on the right, and I want to explain to you guys how I went from here to here to here. If you guys want a full post-processing video, go ahead and just leave it in the comments. I'll get one put together if there's interest in it, but I wanted to keep it strictly what I was seeing and how I responded in this video. So let's go ahead and jump back here. This shot was taken in what I call the transition phase, where we're coming out of blue hour and we're coming into golden hour. Looking at this, as I mentioned when we were on location, there really wasn't anything crazy going on with the sky. There was some color up there, but I was going to need to really delicately take these images and extract that color that was there. I could see it in person, but the photo was not going to represent that properly until edited. So looking at this, as I stood there, I started thinking to myself, what's it going to do next? So I started trying to anticipate what was going to happen. And I knew as the sun came up, it was going to cast warm sun rays across the faces of these buildings. That's what I meant when I was talking about directional light. I had anticipated that, hey, maybe the sky's not working the best for me right now, but that directional light, I can still use that for building a scene. This is when the sun actually came up. I immediately noticed, yes, I'm getting this directional light across the faces of these buildings. I took this right after the sun started rising because there was a very short window to capture this image. There were cloud bands on the horizon that you can kind of see over here in the lower left, or I guess in the middle left. And those cloud bands were going to block the warm light coming over the horizon pretty quickly. So altogether, maybe 2 or 3 minutes to catch this initial warm morning light. Now, this is something I really want you guys to pay attention to. Look at the color in the sky. See how it really just kind of goes gray here in the initial sunrise scene? Whereas a few minutes before sunrise, we were actually still getting decent color up here. It's hard to tell, but just keep in mind I shoot in a flat color profile on the camera. So really, you're not seeing a lot of the detail that's actually there. But the key thing to keep in mind here is just a few minutes apart, we went from color to gray and dull. So what I did was I actually combined those two images into the final scene. I took that nice pink purpley sky from right before sunrise, and I just combined it with the warm light here on the faces of these buildings, and basically took my favorite parts of each scene and combined them. It's not terribly difficult to do. Like I mentioned, if you guys want a video explaining how this is done, go ahead and just leave it in the comments. I'll see if I can't get one put together here and make it a follow-up to this one. But the big thing is vision and anticipation. I knew that I wasn't there for what I wanted. I was there to observe and really just take in whatever opportunity was presented to me. Of course, I was hopeful for big, crazy, vibrant, colorful clouds in the sky, but it was pretty obvious pretty quick that wasn't going to happen. So in this case, I relied on the directional light and the faint glow of the clouds up here right before the sun actually hit the horizon here, and just combined them. This is what I call doing a time blend, but a really great example on watching what's happening, observing the light, anticipating what's going to happen next, and taking steps to be ready and to get all those quote-unquote ingredients in the field. In this case, nice, colorful sky, warm light on the face of the buildings, and then combine. Ultimately, I'm really happy with it. I really like the leading line that brings us right in and wraps the shoreline. I like the buildings, how they do the same. Everything kind of converges right here toward the John Hancock building. Altogether, the light, the composition, the conditions came together, and it all just started with observation. Hopefully this helps you guys. If you're interested in seeing more, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do all those awesome things. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.